Mosai tearing this place up, shredding it at the seams. So we're going to get into some of this news here, right? We're hearing about everything, everybody and their mama crying for help. Let me just say it like that. So before we go in, we're going to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Harakah Kodash. Double honors to all the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and salutes to all the sincere elect out there. So this is what happened in Canada at the airport, Canada airport. Let's check it out as we do. This is prophecy. We're going to funnel everything through the scriptures. What happened with this? People are asking questions.
We now know whose fault it was for the airplane crash at LaGuardia Airport this morning, and it was the air traffic controller.
Stop. Stop, truck one, stop.
Photos have come out this morning of what the airplane looks like after its crash last night with a fire truck, where everyone was very confused as to what happened. And as you can see here, the front of the airplane was completely torn apart after the crash with the fire truck. And the video is so graphic, I can't show you here, but you can search for it on your own. But just know that the two pilots that were at the front of the airplane instantly lost their lives. And people are asking, how could a fire truck end up crashing into an airplane of all places in New York City? And it turns out that there was an emergency on the tarmac just a little while before the airplane came into land, and you can hear the air traffic controller telling the fire truck that it was safe to cross the runway. And by the time the air traffic controller told the other planes that were taking off to stop, he apparently did not remember that he had an Air Canada plane coming in and told the fire truck to stop too late. And one of the pilots that lost his life has been identified as 30-year-old Antoine Forrest from Canada, and this all could have been avoided if the air traffic controller never told the fire truck to cross the runway. We now know...
So, air traffic controller negligence, they're putting it down to, but we know the Most High is setting himself against Mount Seir, throwing him under confusion. Let's hear another one here.
It was a regular flight, and then right as we hit the ground, we kind of felt like the brake was pretty hard, and we all felt something was wrong. And then it was just this sudden, overwhelming panic because we'd hit something, and there was nobody in control. It felt like we hit a wall. I mean, it was a sharp bang. That's why everybody was so bruised up, was just because of how hard that impact was. It was moving so quickly that there was already so many people bleeding for that couple seconds, and then it's continued just to be this terrifying moment where we didn't know if we were going to make it.
When kingdoms go down, the Most High's got a way of throwing them into confusion. Right? That happened with the Assyrians. That happened with the ancient Egyptians. Right? It happened with Assyrians, or the Assyrians with Hezekiah. And what is it? One angel destroyed the 144,000 of his military, the Assyrian military. Let's check this out. But I mean, yeah, I'm just in the news. It is prophecy, and we've got a couple of precepts just to bring out. Same dude there, I believe.
We went down for a regular landing, and we came in pretty hard. We immediately hit something, and it was just chaos in there. About 5 seconds later, we had come to a stop, but in that short period, I mean, everybody was hunkered down and everybody was screaming. Pretty quickly, we didn't have any directions because the pilot's cabin had been kind of destroyed. So somebody said, let's get the emergency exit and get the door in. Let's all jump out. And that's exactly what we did.
How do you be so negligent? That's the question. Anyway, you forget that you have a plane controlled and it hit into a fire truck. So complete miscommunication, negligence on behalf of the air traffic controller. But let's hit the precepts. Luke 21. I find these things these air or aviation crashes interesting. Who's in control of the air and the ground? As a matter of fact, 2nd Ezra chapters 9 talks about the Most High going to visit the earth. He's in control. Man's going is of the Lord. If there be let's hit that one. Let's hit that one. Is it Amos? We want Amos chapters 3. I believe it's 6. Shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid? Shall there be evil in a city, and the Lord hath not done it? So Just judgment, man. Lord is angry with the wicked, and every day does he bring his judgment to light. He loveth judgment. And I believe that's let's hit that one as well. This is a quick one, quick video, but yeah, we're gonna hit the Lord willing, we hit the appropriate precepts, updated on some of the in the news that's taking place. This, like I say, the Most High is tearing you up. Yeah, he's tearing up the kingdom, tearing up this kingdom, because we got next. Zephaniah 3 and 5 said, the just Lord is in the midst thereof. He will not do iniquity every morning. Doth he bring his judgments to light? He faileth not, but the unjust knoweth no shame. The unjust doesn't understand judgment. But the iniquity, the Most High say he ain't going to do iniquity, but he's definitely in the midst. The just Lord is in the midst thereof. He will not do iniquity every morning. Doth he bring his judgments to light? Just to say, up straight and plain, it's the large judgments, and he's bringing his kingdom down brick by brick, right? And as we know, what's going on around the world, right? The Gospels testify of it. These are the things you're going to start to see. 2nd Ezra chapters 9. He's visiting the earth. Matthew 24. Luke. Also Luke 21. The whole chapter. When you start to see these things, you know that the end is nigh. Wars, rumors of wars. Kingdoms coming against kingdoms. Nations against kingdoms. Signs in the suns and, in the stars. In the moons. In the skies. These are all signs. But let's hit this one. Ezekiel 35. Just to back up. Just to qualify. Let's start with 3. And say unto it. This is Ezekiel. He was given an assignment. Right, and his assignment was to go to, thus saith the Lord God, behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee, and I will stretch out mine hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate. We're at that stage. And I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord. So, we've got the revived Romans here today. Most High's touching them. It's touching them up. Little touch here, little touch there, little jab here, little jab there. Right, touching up their aviation, throwing them into confusion before he's gonna let off. Right, that's the intercontinental ballistic missiles. We're hearing about some former 5-day ceasefire that Trump is considering or saying. That's what they're putting that out there. Trump considering a ceasefire on one incident, on one. He's basically confused too. On one. Out of one breath, he's saying there's going to be a ceasefire. Out of the other breath, he's saying we're going to bomb them back. US is going to bomb the Iranians back to the Stone Age. So he's also confused. He's causing the confusion. But we've got confusions, touchdown everywhere, right? Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord God, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee, saith thou hast. Since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. So there was a deletion of 2 of the air pilots. Right? Mosai ain't taking back no talk. What the Most High puts out, he say he ain't going to take it back. Right? The prophecy. Right? What goes out of his mouth, you can't take it back. That's also 2nd Ezra and 16. So a hungry lion go without getting his food. No, you can't turn it back. An arrow can't be turned back. And also, on top of everything, we still got Yahushua to return. Right? In the midst of WW3. Thus I will make Mount Seir most desolate, and cut off from it him that passeth out, and him that returneth. So no one ain't gonna get a squeeze. Let me just say, no one ain't gonna get a squeeze. Right? There'll be no one's gonna get acquitted. So here's the last one. This is what's taking place. Anytime you turn on the news, there's always something. There's always some drama, some new drama taking place. So Isaiah 66, this is what happened to the ancient Egyptians in the time that they had, right, Yashua Allah in their captivity, right? So-called black people as we know it. So-called black people. This is what the Most High did, as well as the 10 plagues, and then eventually deleting his firstborn, Pharaoh's firstborn. So Isaiah 66 and 4 says, I will also choose their delusions. He brought delusions upon them, right? Everything that they detested, everything that they hated, every one of the Egyptians' gods were deleted, undermined, and disrespected. And then eventually, the God himself, his son was deleted, which was Pharaoh, and then he was deleted. I will also choose their delusions and bring their fears upon them, because when I called, none did answer. When I spoke, they did not hear, but they did evil before mine eyes, and choose that in which I delighted not. There you have it. Everything that they detest, everything that they fear, everything that they want to be in denial of, Most High will make it manifest to them. Kala Yehovah, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakah Quadash. Last one. Luke 21 and 25. And there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon. Yep, there shall definitely be signs in the sun and in the moon. Right? And the moon and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations with perplexity, and the sea and the waving and waves roaring, men's hearts failing them. Yeah. When he gave a description, this dude here, when he gave a description,
it was a regular flight, and then right as we hit the ground, we kind of felt like the break was pretty hard, and we all felt something was wrong. And then it was just this sudden, overwhelming panic, because we'd hit something, and there was nobody in control. It felt like we hit a wall. I mean, it was a sharp bang. That's why everybody was so bruised up, was just because of how hard that impact was. It was moving so quickly that there was already so many people bleeding for that couple seconds, and then it's continued just to be this terrifying moment where we didn't know if we were going to make it.
Right, traffic controller doesn't give that the right signals. They crashed into a fire truck. Here you have it. But who's in control of that? Shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the Lord have not done it? Right, so there be evil in the city, and the Lord have not made mention of it, or know of it. And there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations with perplexity. Right, you can be sure they was all perplexed when they smashed. The Most High rammed that plane into a truck. Perplexity, and the sea and the waves roaring, men's hearts failing them for fear, for looking after those things which are coming upon the earth, for the power of the heavens shall be shaken. Right? You know what happened in Hiroshima and Nagasaki in 1945? That the earth was literally shaken. Ammon and Moab, they were shaken up, right? With the chemical war, atomic bomb, and all of that, right? So we got the second woe has passed. The third one is coming. Revelation 11 and 14. The second war has passed, the third one is coming. And then shall they see signs, and man, see the Son of Man coming in the cloud with power and great glory. And on top of that, that's the WW3, the icing on the cake, the grand finale. And when these things begin to come to pass, then look up. He's talking now, it's in red letters, he's talking to his elect. Right? He's talking to his men, his elect. Look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh. We're seeing all of that. All of that. Luke 21 and also Matthew 24. So these men were definitely perplexed, right? And the two of the pilots were deleted, and some took to hospital. But it's just prophecy. That's all it is. Coming around. So lift up your heads, elect.
Regular flight, and then right as we hit the ground, we kind of felt like the break was pretty hard, and we all felt something was wrong. And then it was just this sudden, overwhelming panic, because we'd hit something, and there was nobody in control. It felt like we hit a wall. I mean, it was a sharp bang. That's why everybody was so bruised up, was just because of how hard that impact was. It was moving so quickly that like there was already so many people like bleeding for that couple seconds, and then it's continued just to be this terrifying moment where we didn't.
Yep, terrifying moment, as Yahushua said, men's hearts failing them for fear and in perplexity. And that the times is coming upon the earth. That time is here. The Wada Yahweh Shai, Kala Yahweh Shai. Until the next one, we out. Yes, the Lord, thy power is turning everything upside down. It's tearing this place apart at the seams. Pure confusion.